Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos. So a lot of you guys wanted to see another version of the plant deck using some of the other cards that we got from the card trader. So this is the version that I came up with. It does not use Last Gamble, but it does use my other favorite skill, Duel Standby. However, this deck does not actually need Duel Standby, it's just a personal preference. You can run this with Restart or any other skill you want to try out. So I got my third copy of Marina, Princess of Sunflowers. So we have 3 of them in the deck. We replaced the second Talaya for the third Marina because I believe Marina is just better. So we have 1 Talaya, 3 Botanical Girl. It's still a really good card. You know, you can search your Rose Lover and you can search your Lord Poison, which is the targets that I have for this. 3 Rose Lover. I also got my third copy of it, so here it is in the deck. No longer am I using Pineapple, at least not in this version. In the last gamble I think I kept 1 Pineapple. So anyway, 3 Rose Lover. Again, you banish this to special summon any plant type monster from your hand, and it is unaffected by trap cards for the rest of that turn. So a very good effect. And then we also have Lord Poison. This helps you out if you're trying to stall a little bit, if you don't have your combo pieces. A lot of times is the first thing I search with Botanical Girl if I already have Rose Lover in my hand. That way I can set this and protect myself from 2 attacks and possibly thin my deck even farther if I special summon the Botanical Girl after this gets sent to the grave. So it's a really good card. We only have 1 of. It's nice to have. I didn't know what else to put in here, and it came pretty clutch in a couple situations. So we're using 2 Tribute to the Doom, and the reason why we're using 2 of them is because 1, it helps us get Rose Lover to the grave. That way we don't have to summon it in order to, you know, get it destroyed and get it sent to the grave. It also helps to discard your extra wall tree, because you never want to activate 2 of this and clog your back row. You only ever want to activate 1, but you run 2 because you wouldn't see 1 enough. So the other one can be discarded by Tribute to the Doom. Basically anything in the deck can be discarded because it's not something that's, you know, extremely important or that you don't run more of. You know, maybe Mirror Wall. Maybe you don't want to discard your Mirror Wall, but in some situations you want to go ahead and do it. So Tribute to Doom, very versatile in this deck. I like it. 2 enemy controllers because we need some protection, and it's another way to get or Rose Lover to the grave. A lot of times my opponent only had 1 monster, nothing in the back row, nothing in hand, so I would just econ take, get their monster, and then banish Rose Lover from the grave to summon whatever other plant I had to just swing for game. It's just a good card to have. So the 2 World Tree. This card is one of the ones that most of you wanted to see on the plant deck, or, you know, you wanted to see a deck focused around that. I know Duel Partner made one where he uses DNA. However, it's not DNA. We only have 1 of, and it's not very reliable. You have to run kind of a deck that focuses on getting that card to your hand, and it really limits what you can build around. Plus, when you have this and DNA Surgery, I believe that's the name of the card, you know, you're using 2 spaces out of the 3, so you can clog your back row really quickly. So I don't run that, but this card has a really good effect. If some of you guys don't know, each time a face-up plant type monster on the field is destroyed, place 1 flower counter on this card. You can remove any number of flower counters from this card to activate these effects. So the 1 counter effect, you rarely ever use it unless you're trying to go for game. You target 1 plant type monster on the field. That target gains 400 attack and defense until the end of this turn. So not the most useful. And then we go to 2 counters, which is the best effect in my opinion. You remove 2 counters from this card, target 1 card in the field, and you destroy that target. Very good effect, and very easily, honestly, to get 2 counters on this card. 3 counters, target 1 plant type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. That's also very good, but most of the time you're going to be using your 2 counter effects, so you'll rarely get to resolve the 3 counters. And then I run 2 of the other spell that was recently added to the card trader, Fragrance Storm. A lot of you guys wanted to see this on my previous version. It just doesn't work the way Last Gamble is built, but it's a real good card nonetheless. You target 1 plant type monster on the field, destroy that target, and if you do, draw 1 card. Then if that card is a plant type monster, you can reveal it and draw 1 more card. So the way I use this card, it's either fodder for Tribute to the Doom. If I don't have a way to get my Rose Lover into the grave and I really need to summon one of my big plants, I can just normal summon the Rose Lover, activate Fragrance Storm, and I'll get to draw a card. But more importantly, my Rose Lover is gonna go to the grave. This will add a counter to your World Tree if you have it open. Really important, if you're going up against Naturia and they have a plant type monster, you can activate this and destroy their card. That's kind of the combo that people do with DNA surgery, but again, not really what I was focusing in for. I run 2 of them because it's nice to have. Another thing I like to do is if I already have my Mariña on the field and I use Fragrance Storm to destroy any of my other plants, I'm gonna draw a card and then I'm gonna activate Mariña's effect, which you can target 1 card your opponent controls and then destroy that target. That effect is just really good. Sometimes if I want to test out if my opponent has a mirror wall, I'll just attack. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll just attack with one of my weaker plants. If it gets destroyed, it's gonna trigger Mariña, and then I get to destroy another card. If you resolve Mariña and the World Tree in the same turn, you pretty much win the game because you're just able to build so much advantage. And then 1 mirror wall because stuff happens. I didn't know what else to put in here. Mirror wall helps you protect your Mariña if it gets switched into defense mode, because 1600 is still going to be hard for your opponent to get over if you have a mirror wall. So that's it for the deck. Sorry about the long explanation. I kind of went off a little bit, didn't realize how long it was taking. Most of you guys were familiar with the cards already because I just made a video on it. But hopefully you guys enjoy that. So this first duel was very interesting, and it was one of those matchups that I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, and it ended up playing in my favor. I did get very lucky, don't get me wrong. It's a dual standby Holy Guard, and I believe they were using Mill, which I had not seen Holy Guard Mill. That surprised me quite a bit. But anyway, I go ahead and use Fragrance Storm on Botanical Girl. Unfortunately, Botanical Girl does not get its effect. I spoke about that in my last video. It misses timing because you're destroying the card first and then you're drawing it. So I just summon my Lord Poison. He gets to mill 6 cards from my deck, but one of them was Talaya. So very fortunately for me, my Lord Poison brings it back. And then I use my Tribute to the Doom. He once again mills more cards from my deck, but at this point he didn't have anything to protect himself, so I just summoned my Botanical Girl and I attacked for game. I was down to 2 cards. Very interesting deck that he was using, not going for the regular dual standby mill, and even using Fire King Avatar to destroy the Worms from hand. Neat, but probably not the most effective. So one thing I didn't mention is that the World Tree is very vulnerable, especially when you're going up against something like Sacred Phoenix. So that's why the card is not as good as it could be, unfortunately. It does have the downside of clogging your back row, and also it can easily be destroyed. But this is one of those dream hands. When you open up Tribute to the Doom, you got one of your Rose Lovers, and then you have Mariña. I was trying out Amaryllis at the beginning, just because I wanted more targets for the quick play spell that can special summon a plant. However, it didn't really come up, so I ended up cutting both Amaryllis and that quick play spell. But anyway, he ordered to charges my Marina, which really sucks. But I'm still in in a good situation. I can get my lure poison, and that should be able to give me my Marina back. I get my fragrance, so I just destroyed my Marilees because it's not doing anything on the field. And I get to draw two botanical girls, which do not help me, but it thinned my deck. So now I have a better chance of drawing a card that I actually need, like the World Tree. And this is what I was talking about. I just suicide into the Sergeant Electro so I could destroy one of the back rows, and at the same time I'm going to thin my deck. I actually sniped the mirror wall, but he has another order to charge, so for the second time my Marina dies to an order to charge. Luckily for me, he doesn't draw another monster, and here I pretty much win. I'm able to use Tribute to the Doom to destroy the monster and World Tree to destroy the face down, and then I have my Rose Lover to summon my monster and just swing for him. Like I said, if you can resolve your World Tree effect, it gives you so much advantage, even though it's only one card that's being destroyed. But if you have, follow-up plays like I did right there with the Tribute to the Doom, you're able to win the game. This actually ranked me from Platinum 1 to Platinum 3, and I was winning a lot of games early on, so I just kept going because those replays were like kind of the same, and I was like, I wasn't really showing anything particularly interesting, so I just kept dueling, and I think it took me all the way to Platinum 3. I was very surprised. But anyway, here we go against the matchup that I was talking about in Sacred Phoenix, I think, but now that I see the ninja, I'm not so sure. But anyway, he summoned his Goka. I search my lure poison because once again I already have Rose Lover in my hand, and then I go Tribute to the Doom. I destroy the Goka. He has Kick Fire, so it's a Kick Fire deck, now I remember it. And then he activates Puzzle Reborn. This gave me the green light to just go ahead and use Tribute to the Doom once again, because I knew that now that the back row was gone, he was going to need Kuribos in order to protect himself. He didn't have them, and I just ended up winning. A lot of duels, believe it or not, win kind of like this, and that's what I was talking about. Why I ended up using this deck for so long, because I didn't just want to show the same type of replay. But that was one of them. So here we're going up against Kaiba, and I don't know if you guys have checked out my community section, but I did post a poll about possibly playing a different Yu-Gi-Oh game, and making it like an extra little I guess session. I don't know, I'll talk about it at the end of the video, so if you guys are interested in hearing what what could possibly happen to the channel, please stick all the way to the end so I can talk about it for a little bit. And don't worry, Duel Links is not going anywhere. Obviously that's my main content, and that is not changing at all. I just had some ideas, but anyway, here we're going up against Sacred Phoenix. I don't bother using my Tribute to the Doom because I know the Fire King Island is just going to destroy the monsters. And he actually special summons Avatar from his hand, and he's gonna have two Sacred Phoenix next turn, so I had to be very aggressively, otherwise I was gonna lose this game. So I have to go Tribute to the Doom. I did top deck the Marina, which was exactly what I needed, and I believe he doesn't have anything here either, so I just go for game. And another one of those quick wins where I just roamed the field and was able to do 4,000 damage, and this is something that this deck can do with relative ease. All you need is a Rose Lover and a way to get it into the grave, and you have a 2800 monster if you already have them in your hand. I don't run any Card of the Soul. I know that I can search the Talaya, but because I only run one of them, I didn't even want to bother. And she's basically just there because I wanted another big plant type monster. So this is gonna be our last duel against the Balance Mai. and they're actually using counter fairies, which I thought it was really interesting. So we're gonna be dealing against 3 back row. He has, you know, the Artemis and then the Chiron Mage. I think that's the name. Yeah, Chiron the Mage. So I activate my Fragrance so that I can get 2 counters on my World Tree and get rid of that Artemis because I don't need him. I don't need him getting any advantage because of the counter trap. Unfortunately, I run into Super Rush, which is my kryptonite. If you guys watch my stream and you know watch my videos, you know how many times I lose to Super Rush. Here I kind of misplay. I should have just saved my life points, but I figure maybe I could use the enemy controller for something else, and I end up baiting out Ultimate Providence, and I took a chance here because you know he could have summoned another monster, but I figured it was running balance, so she was probably only running 5 monsters. I try to go for the Tribute to the Doom. He has Magic Drain, but it doesn't matter because the whole point of Tribute to the Doom was to get my my Rose Lover to the grave. I destroy the back row, summon my Mariña, and then attack. They can't top deck into anything and end up just surrendering. So that was a pretty nice comeback. Another deck that I haven't seen much of, you know, the counter fairies, but it was nice. So that's it for the video, guys. If you know, if this is all you wanted to see, here's the deck list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But I am going to talk a little bit about what I want to do with the channel moving forward. And I was talking to some people. Some people suggested that maybe I could play other Yu-Gi-Oh games. One game that was suggested in particular was Duelist of the Roses, and that's what the poll was about on the community. You know, I was thinking about playing it, maybe doing some 30-minute episodes, and if you guys were interested in watching. And I got mostly positive feedback. There's some people that want me to stick to Duel Links only, some people that you know, just want just outright wouldn't want to see a game like that. And I don't know if, I'm not sure why people wouldn't want to see more content. I don't know if part of it is that they're worried that I'm not gonna focus on Duel Links anymore. And this is the way I was thinking about it. Right now it's very hard for me to record Duel Links every single day, just because it goes a lot into these videos. I know they're just 15-minute videos, but you guys know that first I have to come up with an idea, or I have to find one of you guys' requests. Then I have to build a deck. Then I have to play test the deck. And after that, I have to actually go and, you know, try to get some interesting content, some interesting interactive replays, and then I have to record. So for me to try to do that every day while I'm working and, you know, helping around the house with my son and stuff, is just very, very hard. So doing different content would help me provide you guys with a video every day. And you know, that's only if you want, because it basically I can post Duel Links every other day, or I can post Duel Links every other day, and on the days that I'm not posting Duel Links, I have another Yu-Gi-Oh content video that you guys might want to enjoy. So that's basically the idea. I'm probably not gonna do Duelist of the Roses. I played it for a little bit, and it's really fun, but at the same time it's very, very different to Yu-Gi-Oh, and I feel like in order to cater to most of my viewers, I should play a game that relates more to Duel Links. So I found this GX Beginning of Destiny or something like that, which I thought was pretty cool, because it's regular Yu-Gi-Oh. It's very similar to the format that we have in Duel Links. They don't have synchros, they don't have XYZs, they only have fusions, just like Duel Links. And I figure I probably run into a lot of cards from the GX era, which we're supposed to be getting sometime at the end of this month. So I'm probably going to be doing that. It's really up to you guys if you guys would be interested. And again, the reason why it's easier to do that is because I can record, I can play that game for like an hour and a half or 2 hours that's 3 to 4 episodes, and I'm good for like 2 weeks. So you know, I'll still have my plenty of time from to play Duel Links and get Duel Links content. But that would just be something extra that you guys could have on the days that I don't post Duel Links. But anyway, this video went out for long enough, I believe. If you guys stuck around to hear the idea, please let me know down in the comments what you think. If you have any suggestions of games, again, I want it to be a Yu-Gi-Oh game that follows the format that Duel Links has as far as the actual rules, because Duelist of the Roses, there's movement, cards have different effects, and it's just very, very different. So if you guys have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments for any game that you be interested in playing. If you wouldn't be interested, let me know why that is. I really love to be able to read through everyone's feedback and see what everyone thinks about it, because I'm trying to grow as a channel, and again, I can only do that with the help of the people that are watching my videos, which is you guys, and with your opinions and stuff. But anyway, this video went on for long enough, and sorry about that. That was actually my brother. But anyway, that another reason why I should probably go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And until next time.